We open on Jania, a young, exhausted mother, waking her daughter Aria for school. Aria shows off her science fair project, a carefully coded system with wires and blinking lights. Jania praises it, but quickly moves it out of the bathroom to protect it from water damage. Aria complains. She doesn't want to go to school. Worse, her teacher announced to the class that she didn't have lunch money. Jania, though completely broke, promises she'll bring it later. On their way out, Jania gives her last bit of money to Benny, a homeless man nearby. Moments later, her furious landlord confronts her about unpaid rent. She begs for a few more hours. She's already late for work. She threatens her. Eviction papers have already been filed. At the supercenter where Jania works as a cashier, chaos erupts. A customer throws groceries, cursing about WIC restrictions. After the scene, a coworker offers Jania money for Aria's medicine. She declines. "I'll manage." Moments after clocking in, she receives a call from Aria's school. She rushes over, only to find a child services officer already there. Aria has been taken into custody. The reasons: she's frequently hungry, not always clean, and today she has bruises. Jania insists it's from a fall in the tub. She explains Aria's seizures, asthma, and the medical bills. No one listens. Aria screams for her mother as she's dragged away. Frantic, Jania runs across the street to the bank. Her account is below the minimum. She pleads for help, for anything, just enough for her daughter's lunch and medicine. The teller refuses and tells her to get back in line. As she drives back to work, a man taps her car. Though she apologizes, he races after her, nearly causing a crash. He's a cop. He calls backup. Another officer arrives and demands her license and registration, both expired. She pleads, says she can't afford a ticket. They give her one anyway. Drenched in rain, Jania returns to work. Her manager chastises her for exceeding her 30-minute break. Then he fires her. He refuses to give her the paycheck she was depending on. It'll be mailed. Returning home, she finds her and Aria's belongings tossed into the street. It's still raining. The landlord mocks her from the window. She breaks down, holding Aria's schoolwork in her arms. Jania goes back to her workplace to beg for her paycheck. As she pleads, two men enter. One looks at her name tag and says, "Hey, how you doing, Miss Jania?" Then he pulls out a gun and demands the manager put all the money from the safe in a bag. While the robbery unfolds, Jania realizes if they leave with the money, she'll never get her check. She fights for it, screaming, "I just want my paycheck." A struggle ensues. She manages to grab a gun and shoot one of the robbers. The other flees. Because the gunman addressed her by name, even though she's wearing a name tag, the manager accuses her of staging the robbery. He calls 911, claiming Jania set him up. As he berates her, "You're going to prison." Jania, in a breakdown, shoots him. She takes her paycheck and runs. She enters Benevolent Bank and Trust across the street. Police investigate the crime scene. Her coworker defends Jania. She's not a criminal. She's desperate. The police begin looking for her. At the bank, Jania just wants to cash her $521 paycheck. But she has no ID. Tessa, the teller, knows her, but policy is policy. Jania breaks down. She pulls out a gun in desperation. Tessa presses the silent alarm. The manager, Nicole, is notified of a robbery. When Nicole sees Aria's blinking science project in Jania's bag, she mistakenly assumes it's a bomb and tells the police that a bomb is involved. Tessa starts to hand Jania all the money, but Jania insists, "I don't want your money. I just want to cash my check." Nicole tries to evacuate the bank, but one customer refuses. He's waited too long. Then, while Tessa is helping Jania, that same overzealous customer attacks her. The gun goes off. He escapes. News outlets begin reporting the bank robbery. The police chief tries to contact Jania. She hangs up. Detective K. Raymond steps in. She calls the bank. Jania resists. "I didn't come here to rob the bank. I just wanted my check. I need to get it to the school so my baby can eat. If she doesn't eat, the kids will tease her." Her voice breaks. "Nobody helps me." Raymond gently assures her she's listening. But Jania doesn't believe it. She drops the call and orders the blinds shut. An elderly diabetic woman starts to feel lightheaded. Jania offers her a chair, then lets another elderly couple leave. Raymond remarks, "Have you ever seen a bank robber bring out chairs for people?" One of the bank tellers begins secretly live, streaming the ordeal. Jania arranges chairs for everyone and begs, "Just stay with me. If you leave, they'll kill me." Raymond calls back. Jania explains she was fired from her job for leaving to check on her sick daughter. She had 2 jobs and was barely surviving. Her boss believed she set up a robbery because one of the robbers said her name, but he only read her name tag. She reveals, crying, "My baby's medicine is so expensive. She had bruises from falling in the tub. They blamed me and took her away." Raymond responds softly, "You're right, and you have every right to be upset, but we can try to figure out how to get you some help." She explains that earlier, Officer Oliver ran her off the road and threatened to blow her brains out if he saw her again. She saw him outside the bank, and that's why she won't leave. Raymond believes her and vows to investigate. All these conversations are being live-streamed, and people around the world hear her story. Outside, people gather. Protesters chant, "Free Janiyah." Janiyah tells the hostages the full story, how doctors tried to convince her to abort Aria because she had no insurance. She's got nobody, but she made it. She beat every odd. Nicole, the bank manager, gently says, "You've got me." Janiyah begs her, "Will you take my daughter?" "Just until I get out?" "Nicole, I'll talk to my husband. He'll say yes. We will take her." "You got me." Suddenly, the diabetic woman's condition worsens. Nicole helps her outside. Protesters cheer. Nicole insists on coming back in. Janiyah trusts her. A new call comes. The FBI is now handling the case. Janiyah refuses to speak to anyone except Raymond. Then Aria's project begins beeping loudly. Everyone panics. Janiyah explains, "It's not a bomb. It's her daughter's science project." She begs Nicole to tell the police. Nicole warns, if they think it's fake, they'll storm the bank. She suggests they leave the bag in the bank and walk out. Janiyah hesitates, but agrees. Meanwhile, Raymond corners the officer that gave Janiyah the ticket. She confesses. Oliver ran Janiyah off the road and threatened her. Raymond punches him. He made Janiyah snap and put everyone in this mess, and gets him arrested. Raymond calls Janiyah. "We found him. He admitted it. He hit you." Janiyah demands proof. "Text me his photo." Raymond says internal lines only, but promises to show her in person when she surrenders. But Janiyah wants to see the picture first. She wants people to know she wasn't lying. Then she would surrender. But after the call, the FBI decides to storm the bank. Raymond begs them not to. Janiyah is about to surrender. They ignore her. To stop it, Raymond walks into the bank herself and passes the pics to Nicole, who shows it to Janiyah. Janiyah lets the hostages go. Nicole refuses to leave, insisting on walking out with her. Janiyah asks if Nicole would visit her in prison with Aria. Nicole says yes, and "I'll tell her what a brave mother you are." Janiyah hands over instructions to make sure Aria gets her lunch money. "I will," Nicole promises. Then, just before Janiyah surrenders, her phone rings. It's her mother. "Why'd you rob a bank?" she yells. Janiyah says, "I didn't. I just needed to get Aria lunch money." Then her mother breaks the news. Aria had a seizure last night. She didn't make it. Time stops. Everything comes crashing down. That morning, there was no one beside her in bed. She did run a bath, but for no one. At the school drop-off, Janiyah opened the door to let Aria out, but the seat was empty. She smiled and waved to her daughter, but there was no one there. The principal just waved back, awkwardly, thinking Janiyah was greeting her. She was never called by the school. It was bill collectors. No one came to take Aria. Because Aria was already gone. It was all in her mind. A grief-induced hallucination. Janiyah finally understands. Her daughter died last night. Nicole gently says, "I know. I was told earlier." In Janiyah's mind, she imagines the FBI storming in. But in reality, she walks out, silent, shattered. Nicole by her side, whispering, "You're not alone." Outside, the crowd erupts, screaming, crying, chanting. And as Janiyah is led away, she's not just a suspect anymore. She's a symbol of every mother the system failed.